What's happening, sir?
Scoop, you had me on the ground telling my man to get out of there. Get out of there.
But because, sir, you can't play. You can't play with this, sir. Listen.
Hey, man.
Okay. Listen.
It's crazy.
You're a married man, right?
Yes.
Does your wife, I'm sure that, listen, it's right here. All they got to do is go to your shit and say, just hit following. Following has all the people you following. So
Right.
Get
you can't be you.
Account. Huh?
I mean, you got to do something different. He on Front Street with his situation. He like, delicious big booties.
Sir, your wife is watching this.
Okay?
She's watching everything. See,
yeah.
I didn't understand. I had a lady friend that I was involved with, and she told me, she was like, this is how I can see what you like. This is how I can see what your comments
are. Yeah, it's definitely a snapshot. That's for sure. Hey, let me tell you, when we was coming up in the game, we ain't had no Instagram. We had to see the person in real life. Now you can see chicks from all over the world. Like, you can go on your phone and get lost for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Back in the days, and you can attest to this. If you wanted to deal with a girl, all you had to do was put your odometer on 50, and you could drive in any direction. And it would be like a whole fucking, you might as well be in fucking on the moon.
Right.
Now you could get caught with a woman from Russia in 6 minutes. I'm gonna tell you when I realized that all of this shit was bad. I was in Ireland one day, right? And I was performing. So it was me, my role manager, and 2 other guys. And there was a woman that said one of my biggest regrets was not going to the hotel with Fat Man Scoop. Now my wife, hold on now, sir, hold on. My wife at the time had the thing that every comment that had my name in it, she would get that to her phone. So I picked up the phone. I said, hello. Then I got motherfucked on there. I said, what are you talking about? I'm on the way to the hotel. This fucking bitch said that motherfucker. Then she said, then they all started beating up on her on Instagram and find your own fucking man and we're coming over here. None of you even have a fucking passport. You're not going anywhere.
Hey, they ain't even had their passport stamp. They trying to get in the car. You can't drive to Ireland.
We coming over there to get you. You don't even have a passport. You can't go to Newark Airport. Leave me alone.
Right. They doing too much.
So to wrap that up, the woman told me everything. She said, I can tell who you're following. I can tell who you like, who you comment, who you this, who you that. And then she said, I'm going to give you a broom. Go clean it up. So I was in Instagram cleaning my shit up. But I was in there cleaning it up. Bill, I'll give you one tip. I'll give you one tip. If you want to like a woman's pictures, first of all, the smartest thing to do is like with your eyes, not with your fingers. But if you want to like it, hit that shit real quick and then hit it off again because it registers as a like. But since you took it off so quick, on the other side, they can't see it, sir.
How you know that, Scoop? Hey, Scoop, are you saying, Scoop, as you had to figure out how to beat the algorithm? You notice you said wife at the time, so you was riding dirty in these streets. You was
No. When I was married to my second wife, I didn't touch a woman for 13 years. I was clean as shit. That's why she was screaming and going crazy. Okay. When I got divorced, my eyes, this is bad. This is the worst thing that happened to men in the last 100 years, sir. This is the worst thing that's happened to men in 100 years, sir.
Listen, man, it's definitely some salacious stuff on these phones. So you gotta really, really walk light. You know what I'm saying, and really know what you're doing. Like, what's your intent? You know what I mean? My intent is to make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? And I try to do everything in that world, in that lane. You know what I'm saying? So I figured out how to make social media work for me. you know, as opposed to against me. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing else in here but trouble if you really, you know, you're going in there dipping and diving and all that craziness. See, I'm old school. I'm too old for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the old school when we used to meet a chick, you had to talk to her, you had to see what's up, you find out where she lived. These cats is hooking up on chicks because they Instagram models. They because they got 80 million followers. You don't even know if it's real, if it's catfish, is it spam? It's so much stuff that's debatable in the game.
But you know what it is? Instagram allows you, and then I'm gonna talk to you about a bunch of other stuff because there's so many stuff to unpack with you. I've known you for God knows how long. Instagram is funny because you can use filters and do all kinds of things, and then when you get to see the woman, you're like, wait up, hold on now, wait up, hold on, okay?
Yeah.
You look, you're about 40% of the shit that I saw in this picture. What part of the game is that?
Yeah, because the chicks gotta have a filter that they have on their phone in their life. They gotta walk around in the filter.
You can't walk around in a filter, sir. So let's start here. You've been doing this for so long, man. How did you wind up even getting into comedy? What was the thing that got you into it, man?
Man, first of all, the thing that got me into it was I was always in love with stand up because I always thought stand up was the bomb. I just didn't know how to do it. I was like, man, them dudes be up there talking forever. Like I watch Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby. Like how they talk forever and everything be funny. You know, I used to always be curious. And when I was at Rutgers University, you know, I used to host like little talent shows, trying to be a comedian and stuff. And I kind of got like a vibe for it. I was like, yo, this is kind of fun. And so the fun of it was the attraction initially. And then I was like, yo, man, people keep saying, yo, Bill, you funny as hell. You funny as hell. I mean, the streets really tell you the truth. You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, I must be on to something. So the first time I ever could go to a comedy club and I got on stage, I got booed, right? And the funny part, I got booed by my dudes who came with me. I brought like 6 of my...
How your own people? Those people
Yo!
that are supposed to like you. You got 6 followers. Those are the people who actually know you. How your own people boo you?
Yo, man, I rolled with a rough crowd, man. Them dudes was like, you was whack. Man, you had us go out there. You ain't know what you was doing. And it was good for me, though, because I thought I could freestyle. Like, I thought I'd go up there and things would just pop in my head, but I got nervous and I couldn't get my stuff together. So they booed me in the venue. They booed me in the car when we was going back to campus. And I said, I remember.
Wait up. How did somebody boo you in the car? Like,
yo, because I'm in the back and I'm sitting there, I'm riding. Yo, they booed me. Yo, I promise you, they booed me in the car all the way back to campus. And I said, y'all go, this the last time anybody ever booed me. I swear to God, y'all get it in. And they was like, you was the worst. The baby was better than you. They was just killing me. So, make a long story short, from there, I was like, yo, I got to just be prepared. You know, I don't want to freestyle. And I wasn't good enough to freestyle because obviously I was a rookie. And so when once I started like really writing down ideas and things, and I still read a lot all the time, like knowing what's going on and shit. And so let me tell you what's so funny, right? Speaking of boo, like, you know, back in the day, if you got on the Apollo, that was like you was on your way because like everybody who was somebody did the Apollo. So I never forget, I did amateur night and Sinbad was the host.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a guest. I was not an amateur. The night that I was at at the Apollo, they was booing real people, like groups.
Right. Well, hold on. They were booing like professional. You know, but that's the Apollo, bro.
Yo, I'm making this up. I don't know the name of the group, but let's say they booed NSYNC. Then they booed the girl group. Then they booed the solo dude. And then they said, you're next. Everybody, if you remember the Apollo, you come downstairs, you know, like you go up to the stage, right?
You go up, everybody, come up to the basement.
Right, you coming from the basement, right? Cats was going up and coming down back to the basement so fast. I was like, yo! And then the stage manager said, Bill Bellamy? And I was like, yeah, they said, you're next. I said, oh my God, 3 professionals got booed on my night. I said, all right, all right. I said, and my mom was out there. I said, I can't get booed in front of my mom. And then I started thinking about my dudes in my head.
Because here's the thing, Bill. When your mother's there, her eyes get crazy. It's a look of death in people's eyes. Her eyes get crazy. Your eyes start getting, because you know I'm dying in front of my mother.
You can't die in front of your mom, man. You lose about 1 billion cool points, right?
Right.
So I had, at this time, I had a good set. Like I had like a 15-minute set, right? But the crazy part was they gave you 10 minutes. I said, I got to start with my closer, bro.
Right, come out right. You coming out, come out. You gotta come out the gate hard.
I had to come out the gate on fire and work backwards because I didn't have enough time to, sort of jab, 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 then overhand right. I was just like, yo, overhand right, uppercut, overhand. Like, dude, I swung so hard out the gate that I got a standing ovation. It was funny because I was like the only person that did good that night. And I was like, thank God I didn't get booted from my mama because it was on TV.
Right. But
It was crazy.
Sometimes God comes down and puts the hand on you and saves you. You like I said, you've been doing this for so long, so many stages. The comedy business is different than any business in the world. What is the one thing in comedy, the business, that is absolutely not funny at all? The one thing that you just like, man, this part of the game is not funny.
Well, let me see. There's a lot of those, but I think one of the parts of comedy that is not a game is it don't matter how much you got time in. It's about the timing, not the time in. It's the timing. So, like, when I came out in the game, cats didn't really appreciate how fast I exploded on the spot, right? And it wasn't through no fault of my own. Who knew? I mean, I just came, I got hot. I said the right jokes on the right Def Jam. I was on MTV and I got on, right? But then there was a guy named Chris Tucker who had no TV experience but was young and funny. Next thing you know, he was in a movie. And then next thing you know, there's a guy like Cat Williams that goes and gets it and comes out. So it's not about, people always think just because you're a vet and you've been doing it 25, 30 years, you're going to be on top. I know a lot of vets that's not on top, but they're still funny. That part of it, I think, is kind of tough for cats because when you figure if you put in 30 years into anything, you want to be at the top 5 of it or the top 20, if you can, at least.
That ain't the way that it is. When I'm performing, there are a few people that if I'm going to do a show, I know that I got to put my work in when I'm going to perform with them. Dougie Fresh is 1, and Busta Rhymes is 2. So I know that anybody else I'm not worried about. Anybody, like if they say, yo, go on after this person, I don't give a fuck who I go on after. If it's Dougie Fresh or Busta Rhymes, I know that I better start planning. Just like you said, I better come out the gate. I better come out the gate fucking flying.
You got to come out flying.
Who's the comics that that if you go on a bill with them, you better bring the A game or else?
Well, the first person I know that was like that every night was Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac put you in a body bag. Bernie Mac was probably one of the most explosive comedians coming out when I came out of Chicago. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like Bernie Mac. But Bernie Mac was pulling the wood out the ground like. I mean, it was just crazy. Another explosive comedian. I say Cat on a good night when he really cooking. He's insane. Rock can go get it. Dave.
Chris Rock, like you said, Rock he could kill you easy.
Rock is a pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rock is the type of comedian that's proven, and he is respected like that. He's like a dude that can hoop. He could go for 40 tonight or he could go for 20. It depends on how you feeling, you know what I mean? But those
what
guys.
What about Robin Williams? What about Robin Williams? You ever been on with Robin Williams?
That's a good one right there. Robin Williams would blow you out the water. Yeah, see, it depends on, like, for instance, I have followed some explosive comedians, but I'm an energy cat. So like you said, if you go after Buster, you know Buster's an energy cat. So you turn your energy up, you can match it. But a lot of cats can't follow energy cats because they bring so much laughter and physicality to the game. If you a smoother comic, you might die.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So like when Chris Tucker did his set on Def Comedy Jam, he bodied the dude. He the only dude that got booed on Def Comedy Jam.
Who?
I can't think of his name. I would have to call my man Bosom to get it. But he was the only person that got booed during the taping, and it was because he followed a explosive 7-minute set, and he was a more low-key comic, and they booed him straight up out the Def Jam set. It was crazy.
What about, you know, somebody asked, and I was thinking about that person too, Robin Harris. Did you ever get on with Robin Harris?
No, I don't know if I wanted that smoke. I wasn't really.
Robin Harris was another one. He's like
Hey, yo,
Mac.
Robin Harris was a problem. And see, I didn't get a chance to meet Robin Harris because I was coming up in the game when Robin was blowing up, and I was on the East Coast and he was on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So when I finally made it to the West Coast, he had passed away, unfortunately. And he was one of the guys that I was chasing because I was like, yo, I got to be funny like that. Like, he was on my chart, for real. He's definitely on my chart.
So those are some of the guys that I look at. So what happens is you're a comic, you move to movies, and you move to TV. You're in one of course, you know, the player movie, all of that stuff, but there's no movie that you were in, for me, that means more to me than Any Given Sunday. That movie, because I'm a football fan, so it's the best ever. And I always want to know.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday.
Was there really a fight between Ll and Jamie Foxx? Did that really actually happen?
Yeah. I told the story. Finally, told the story on my IG Live. You can go watch it. But I told it like 2 weeks ago because I had sat on that story for like 20 years, and I forgot about it. But then I saw that, you know, Jamie talked about it, and then I saw that LL was on Drink Kings a couple weeks ago, and he spoke of it. So I was like, all right, well.
I didn't hear it, so you got to tell me now. What happened? Because you were there.
Oh, Scoop, you're not going to make me tell that story again, man.
Come on, I got to hear it. I have to hear it. And listen, I don't have time to go to your IG. I'm on here right now with you, sir. Give me something.
I'm going to give you the abbreviated version of it because it takes me a while to tell the whole story. But the reality of the matter is, you know, it all started from joking around. You know, we on the set kicking it, everybody laughing and teasing each other. And we do a foot race. That was one thing that people were joking about. Then we talked about talking ball, and then we started talking about, you know, being a real athlete, and jokes is flying. You got 2 comedians and 1 rapper. And, you know, it's really hard for rappers and comedians to, you know, because me and Jamie are fast on our feet with these jokes. And, you know, Todd was throwing his joints around too, but, you know, every once in a while there's a joke that go too far. And, you know, the joke was between Jamie and Todd, and so it got a little edgy, and then I was like, well, let's just chill out, because, you know, when it's too much, you know, you kind of like, all right, well, you know, my man ain't really feeling it.
Right.
But that tension stayed in the air for the movie, that tension. But the odd thing about that tension was that tension was really valid for the film.
Mm-hmm.
So it really worked.
It worked for it. It
really worked because that was the sort of energy of the players' attitudes towards each other. There was a lot of alpha male stuff going on. But then, you know, there was a part in the movie where we're supposed to be in this huge fight, like argument fight, not physical. And we coming off the field. When you watch the movie, you'll see it's me, Jamie, and LL coming off the field. And, you know, the funny part was it was just supposed to be like this with your hands and talking. But Todd had just basically ear holder. You know, I don't know if you play football, but, you know, you just hit the side of the helmet. But it makes your head ring. So Jamie was like, "Whoa!" You know, his whole head was like spinning, and that was on the first take. And then we didn't know. We thought it was maybe a mistake.
Right. But it wasn't no fucking mistake.
No. By the second one, boom, I was like, "No, you know what? These are consistent. These is in the right area." So the next thing you know, it just got real physical, and then it got crazy because back then, if we would have had social media, it would have been like the most viral. It would have been the most viral situation because you never hear about stuff like that happening on the movie sets, right? And this really, really happened. And so the crazy part was that we stopped production.
Hmm.
And when production stopped,
did he legitimately knock him out, like flat out, like
flat out? Yep, that's pretty good. You know when you
okay,
when
so
you
hold
when you
on,
get not
Bill.
mm,
Jamie wakes up. You're standing there.
yeah.
What is said? What happens?
What we trying to be honest with you, it wasn't about what was said, it was about what we're gonna do because honestly, the way he got hit was so crazy that when he fell, he hit his head on like this thing. It was like this big light fixture situation, and then that was the part that was like scary because that might have knocked him out actually because he
Right.
went bam. And so we were all like trying to make sure Jamie was okay. You know, Todd was fine. Everybody moved him out the way, but Jamie was twisted for a second, and and we was like trying to make sure he didn't have a concussion. He had to go to the hospital. It was crazy. I mean, it literally was crazy.
Okay, but
It was literally.
how do we move forward after this? Did he get up and take an Excedrin and walk it off, or was there real like how do people
No,
talk to
they
each other?
had to
How
go
do you get a
to. He
job
had to
after
go.
that?
Well, that if you watch the story on IG, on my IG live, I mean on my IGTV, I told you what happened was there was a huge stop of work where nobody knew what we was gonna do because the tension was on a high level. Jamie had to get stitches in his tongue. It was crazy. So the person who brokered the peace was Jim Brown. Jim Brown was the one who came in and made everybody sit down and talk and figure out, you know, get past it. And then we were able to go and make the movie. So they were shooting all the other scenes that didn't involve all of us being together because they didn't want it to get back to where it was again. And it was really awkward on set because before that we had all this great chemistry and you know we was really excited about making this movie, and then it just got kind of crazy, but then it came back, so it was, thank God.
Right. So Bill, y'all were filming like the parts where somebody's shoe would walk past the camera, or somebody's head would go past. Like you had to shoot all of like the loose stuff and just the story stuff had to kind of go away.
Yeah, but see, the part that was really tough was because we were the three young stars of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of scenes encompassed us. It either encompassed Jamie or me or LL, so it was really awkward to kind of piecemeal it where, we all of us was always on the field together because I was the receiver, Jamie was the QB, and LL was the fullback.
Right.
Or the running back,
Or the running back. Yeah, he was the running back. Was
Running back.
that the best film you've ever done in terms of fun? Is that the most enjoyable film you've ever been in?
Yeah, I think that's one of the we're talking about live action where you had to really do, like when you saw me in that movie, I was really catching those passes. I was really running those routes. I wasn't getting hit because I had a stunt double for that.
Mm-hmm. Right, but so you never got hit, you never got knocked down, anything.
Oh, I
Did
got hit.
LL do his? Did LL do his? Did L do
Yeah,
his
we
without
all
getting
got
hit?
hit. We all got hit, even though we didn't think we were going to get hit. But once they go live, man, it's just what it is. LL had a shoulder injury. I had a high ankle sprain. I got knocked off my feet on a crossing route. I mean, it was a lot of times I got hit, but it wasn't. It's funny when you're in the moment and you go on full speed, it looked worse than it is. But when you see it on camera, it looked like you should have been dead. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm. So that was an enjoyable experience. Would you
Yeah,
do
and
it
it was
again?
the best shape. It was the best shape I was in my life. Like I ran hundreds every day. I worked out every single day, sometimes twice a day. I mean, the strongest, fastest, most athletic time of my life was doing that movie. I promise you. I never been around football players every single day. You got Terrell Owens, you got Antonio Freeman, you got Jacquez Green, you got Deion Sanders, you got all these different cats on your ass teaching you stuff about
Wait,
running
stop. Hold on, let me see your face. Back up. Deion Sanders was teaching you?
Yeah, man. Deion Sanders was helping me a lot, man. Deion helped me. T.O., Antonio Freeman, they all taught me certain tricks to the trade to be able to, one, run routes a certain way, how to get your hips down, get your hips lower, how to come out your breaks a certain way, how to be deceptive with your footwork. See, I'm a basketball player. I never played football like that. So I had to learn the essence and the technicalities of running routes, because receivers, when they watch the movie, you gotta look real. They'll be like, "Yo, we don't do that." You know?
Right. So you learned everything. You were a basketball player. Was that in Newark?
Yeah, I played in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And I was too skinny to play real football. I would have got blown up. But the thing was that I didn't realize, like, guys like your size, big guys they fast. Remember when we was little, we thought the fat kid or the heavy kid was slow?
These guys are fast.
What? 6'5" running a 4.4, 302 running a 4.6. Like, these cats can move, man. They agile, they athletic. Then they can hoop. Man, these dudes they were freaks of nature, bro. Everybody was fast. Everybody was fast. It was crazy.
So imagine what it's like to get hit by somebody that fast. Like it's killing you. You played basketball. You played basketball. I didn't know, and maybe this might not be the truth, but because I was looking at just researching so much before I did the interview. You're related to Shaq?
Yeah. How did that get by you? Everybody know that.
I never knew you were related to Shaq. Now, wait a minute. Is that like my uncle's sister's cousin, third cousin, brother's uncle's father? Or is that like, I know your uncle?
No, it's on my mom's side of the family and his mom's side of the family. So that it's literally as legit as it can get. But it's funny how people go in and out of it, right? Because so this is the crazy shit, because we both represent Jersey, right? So when I was coming up and Shaq was coming in the league, it was like the Brick City boys turned up. Like, we put our city on the back, you know what I mean? And then I'm doing commercials with Shaq. He's in Orlando. We doing all this crazy stuff, and it was kind of known at that time. And then when he retired, it almost seemed like people forgot. Like, you're gonna stop being somebody's cousin because they're not in the league. And then when I'm, it just it's so funny. It's like people trip off of Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady.
Right. Yeah, they're cousins, right?
Yeah, it happens.
Well,
I'm just not big. I'm just not big as him.
Right. So that's what I'm looking like. I'm looking like Shaq and Bill Bell. But it's two different worlds. It's two different situations. Do you guys still talk? Do you still hang out? What's the family reunion like with the two of you guys in the same place?
Well, it was actually really good when he was here in L.A. It was really good. I'd see him a lot. I mean, and the kids as well. Everybody would get together and try to keep everything going. But now Shaq's in Atlanta, and I'm still in LA, so I gotta catch up with him when I get back out there. I'll be out there in March though. I'll go catch up. But the kids are all over. Like, all the kids that grew up now. Everybody's in high school. My kids are 14 and 17. So we only got a few more days where these kids gonna be grown.
Listen, I'm at the place where mine is 19 and 24. I got 2 or 3 more years with my daughter, and then I'll be able to walk around my house naked. I'll be able to play pornos in stereo. I'll be able to do things that I really want to do, sir.
Yeah, and you deserve it.
Yes, we all deserve it, man. So,
Yes.
last question I want to ask you. One of the things that I saw that you did recently that I really loved was the Madam C.J. Walker movie on
Yes,
Netflix.
sir. Yeah, that was dope,
And
man. That was fun, man. Self-made was really a passion project. I always loved Madam C.J. Walker. I learned about her story in African American Studies at Rutgers University, and I was always amazed at how a woman could do all that in the early 1900s when women wasn't voting. I mean, black people back then was all we was doing was cleaning houses, and maybe if you was in the free states, you could work and maybe have a little bit of land. But she was like almost outside the box with it. She's like, nah, I'm gonna be an owner and I'm gonna create my own products in my own lane. And that's what I thought was dope. And then when the project came up, I said, yo, man, I gotta be in Madam CJ Walker. And honestly, it was for my kids because I was like, my kids need to see, black people doing amazing things. Black excellence started back in the day, and we had to have vision to create something. And I wanted to inspire my children that, anything is possible. Your imagination has no ceilings.
for me, when I looked at it, because I looked at it during the quarantine, and I wound up getting hooked. I was on episode 2. And I said,
Right.
how the fuck is this going to turn out? This is crazy. And then you came in and you played, and I'm not going to tell you what he did, what his role was, but he played a shade tree, a Negro in the early 1900s. A very shade tree.
Right.
No, let me even take that back. He played a very untrustworthy Negro, criminal elements in this particular movie. Did you pick that, or did they cast you?
Say it again.
Did you pick it, or
Say
did
it
they
again.
cast you for it? Did you pick that role, or did they cast
No,
you?
they cast me for that role. And what it was is that they wanted somebody that was like a hustler. And back in the day, they wanted a guy that was sort of like the opposite side of Madam C.J. Walker. So if she was on the good side of the tracks, they needed an opposite, polar opposite, and that was a Sweetness. So Sweetness was a dude that hustled. He ran the numbers. He ran the women on the other side of town, on the bad side of town. But he wanted to get his name cleaned up and attach himself to Madam C.J. Walker. So that was the thing that I was attracted to, because I was like, everybody knows somebody that want to come up. And, and they underestimate Sweetness because, he hustling all the time. He running the numbers, coming to the shop, writing it down, cut a few cats with a switchblade. You know the dude. So I said, I know who that dude is. I'm gonna bring him to life. So when I went in, I had a certain sort of swag about what I wanted him to feel and look like. I went into the producers meeting already dressed like him.
Now you were,
So
yo, bro, you were clean. You were clean and swagged out. And I'm gonna tell you, the one thing I want to say before I get out of here, and I want to know what you're doing right now, because everybody's asking what you're doing right now. People back then used to dress. It ain't like us now. Niggas come outside with compression shirt on, anything. Niggas come out with anything. Like if I was doing this Instagram live in 1913, I would have on a fucking suit.
Yes, period. And that's what I thought was so dope about Madam C.J. Walker. Like, watch Self-Made. Just watch the costume design. Man, everything that I had on was custom made. My neckline, the distance between my collarbone and my ear. I mean, it was the ascots, it was the cufflinks, it was the shoes. I mean, this stuff was literally done the way we used to dress. And women dressed up to go everywhere. And it was very stylish, actually. I liked it.
Where do you think we lost? Where did we go wrong? Where did we go from ascots and ties to tattoos on your face? What happened?
Yeah, I know that's the culture. There's always going to be a different generation swing on it. You know what I'm saying? When we was coming up, we was wearing, like when I was coming up, we was wearing all the cross colors. We was wearing big clothes. I was skinny as hell, and I was wearing 2 or 3X tees,
Right.
and it was like a dress damn near. But then when I was doing my stand up, I would dress up because I always wanted to look like a star. Like I always wanted people to perceive me as a star already. So I had to dress as such. So that might have been one of the things that helped me blow up as well, was because I was prepared for the opportunity.
Did you, when you dressed up, because I can't remember, I got to go back and look at the stuff. Of course, I was there. I lived it. I watched it, everything. Did you wear the big NBA suits, or were you wearing Italian cut?
I was wearing more Italian cut. When I first came out, there was this real fly shop this African dude used to have in Jersey City, and he used to give me these suits. And what he would do, he said, "My brother, you will have to take this on the side here, and then here, right here, and this is going to give you the line. You're going to have the line. You want the line, so you have to look like this, and it's going to be perfect on TV, or perfect on TV, right?"
But he hooked you up. That man,
Yeah, so
you can understand about 6% of what he said, but he hooked you up.
Right. But he would give me the little tuck on the waistline, and then in the back, so my suits always looked a certain way, because I was always a slim dude, but it made it look more contoured, right? And all that stuff playing into it. I can't take credit for that. He said, "Man, just make sure you big me up, man, when you get out there, bro. Yeah, but big me up, man. Big me up."
Where's the man now? Where the fuck is the man now?
I don't know what happened to that store, man. It was right in Journal Square. And I used to go there and buy my suits all the time. He would always hook up the suit and the tie. All I had to do was find the suit, and he'd go lay a couple ties on that joint. This one for nighttime. This one for daytime.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You couldn't understand what the fuck the man said, but he'll make you look clean. Finally, tell us what you're working on, sir. Tell us what you're working on.
So I got a lot of things going on. I got I have the Bill Bellamy Network, where I have my own podcast called The Bill Bellamy Show. It's subscriber based. You guys come over and check it out. We're interviewing everybody, much like yourself. I just finished a new film called A Rich Christmas. It'll be out next. It'll be out next Christmas, with Denise Boutte, Vanessa Williams, this up and coming beautiful actress named Tyler Abron. She plays my daughter, and she was fantastic. It's the first time I've ever been a dad in any of my movies, so that was pretty smooth. I
saw it on the stories. I saw it on your Instagram stories.
Yeah. I got a comedy special to shoot as well. So I seen Kev's dropped his. You seen Dion Cole drop his. I seen Dave drop. All right, it's time for the OG to come get him.
You better exactly. You better go do what you got to do, brother.
And I'm giving them all that smoke. Everybody get the smoke when it comes. When I drop this next hour, I promise you everything.
Where you dropping it? Where you dropping it?
It's gonna be ready by the summertime. I promise you. This 2021, when the new Bill Bellamy 1 hour drop, that's all I gotta say. The streets know. The streets know.
I'll be waiting. You always did it throughout the Hot 97 days. We followed you. Some of the clubs we were in with you. I definitely know what you do, because I saw it with my own fucking eyes. I want to thank you for coming through. And I definitely want to check you and Star. I'll talk to you about that later. Thank you for coming through, brother.
Hey, man, I love you, bro. Happy holidays. I love what you're doing, man. I love how you keep the culture so rich and honest, man. And I just only want the best for you. When you call me, I say, yo, I got to do it for Scoop. You my dude, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Listen, and leave this man alone about his smile and his teeth. You don't want to get this man jammed up with his wife. Man, get on out of here before somebody put a comment too fast, too slick, and the next thing you know, your wife calling me like, what happened? Look, I don't know nothing about nothing. Leave me alone, man. Fat Man Scoop. Visit fatmanscoop.com to buy merch.